Over the years, a lot of us have wondered about the finish level that Harley achieved when these bikes were rolled off the assembly line in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Today's video is about a new old stock factory painted and striped front fender that was made either in 1938 or 1939. This timepiece, historical relic, answers a lot of questions as to how shiny things were, how smooth they were, and what it actually looked like back when these bikes were new. We're going to go over the striping nuances, color codes, texture, and reference for striping front and rear fenders in 1935 and 36 in this video. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. This is a new old stock 1936 RL front fender for Harley Davidson. An RL is a 45 cubic inch small bike, kind of made for beginners or in-town riding. This thing is brand new. Very, very cool. This is a good way to tell reference. It's a good way to tell what the paint colors are. I'll tell you guys what codes we use in a little bit. But I just wanted to take note of the striping. They kind of miss the little crevice right there where the hemline changes. On this side, it's absolutely perfect. You can see it comes to a nice point. Something that's really cool is that they shellacked over the stripe. So you can see this little bit of yellowing down in the crotch of it. That is varnish. And they did that over some gold stripes, over some silver stripes. Sometimes they didn't do it at all. So it's really cool to see. You can see how crisp the definition is on the rivets, how sharp the crown is. This is a cool feature. This pressed line continues off the fender. It doesn't always go smoothly into here. We're gonna shine this up. You know, a lot of people, well, anybody that's working on an old motorcycle wonders what condition the paint was when it was new. This does not have red primer under it where the scratches are. So that means that it was painted sometime in 1940 or earlier. It's a replacement fender, but it still has narrow braces. It doesn't have the maroon primer. And you can see that it's really shiny. Even for being dirty, it's in great shape. Very shiny. I also wanted to point out the orange peel on it. Now you see the light hit it, and it has quite a bit to it. It has more on the sides, but it's harder to picture. Here you can see how nice the brace or the paint coverage is on the braces, and you can see that it barely even got on right here. So if we look at the inside, it's got the little butterfly brace right here, and no brace on the front. It's really cool, really special. I'm gonna shine this thing up so you guys can see what it looks like. And then it's going to my friend Gary for his personal project. The paper on the braces was a protective thing. I have a NOS red and black RL front fender like that. And then I also have a NOS VL fender like that. I thought before we let this go, it'd be cool to get some measurements on the stripes. It's 138 there. And a little under an eighth here. So, you know, these were done by hand. It was not a science, but I feel like they were shooting for an 1/8 inch. But if they got a little thicker, like back here, that was okay. So I think they probably started here. I don't know where the pickup line is. I'm sure they had to reload their brush. But yeah, that was somebody's job all day long, striping fenders. Gold stripe is the same thickness. You can see it comes to a nice point. Beautiful. Venetian blue, Croydon cream, the most iconic 1936 color. Okay, so here is the NOS fender. I don't know when the last time was this was clean. We're going to wipe the dirt off first and then polish it. You can see how shiny it is already, but you know, kind of the main purpose of doing this is to show you guys what the texture of the paint was like. So I'm just going to do this side And my friend is going to put it on his 37 WL that he's been piecing together forever. And it's going to be a really nice bike. It was expensive, but realistically, it's the cost of the fender is about what it would cost to have an old beat up one straightened out. I'll get the paint codes that we use for Venetian blue and Croydon cream and include them in the video. There's nothing worse than somebody going through all the work to make a bike really nice and then using the wrong paint color. I really feel for them. I think now with the internet and YouTube and forums, information is exchanged way easier than it ever was. So you don't see it as often, but the thing that comes to mind is I remember seeing Hollywood green bikes that were painted the wrong color. Some guys would paint them like Hollywood green from 55, and it's supposed to be more of a grass green, so. That's after just a little bit of elbow grease and cleaning it up. You can see how beautiful that blue is, and you can also see the texture in it. I feel like when you polish and buff out sheet metal on the curved areas, it stays smooth longer. So this is probably just as they sprayed it. And then on the side, that's where it seems to shrink more. You can see that. The shine is off the charts. It's beautiful, but there is a little bit of texture on the side. And you know, what you're seeing is the LED reflection. And when the bikes are in natural light, they don't get like a LED reflection. But in case you ever wondered, or even if you didn't, there's a cool video of a cool snapshot in time. I never thought I'd get to see another one of these. I have a red and black one for an RL, and then I also have a VL one that I did a trade with a friend to get. So thanks for watching. So here's a 36 EL rear fender that's for a bike we're going to be putting together this winter. It's an early one. It has the chain guard tab riveted on separately. And I thought this video was a good spot to add some more striping details for rear fenders. This has the gold stripe that ends right where the chain guard cutout is. That's the same on Big Twins, VLs, Knuckleheads, and 45s. And then this stripe goes here and then goes right above the chain guard insert screws. It's the same on the side. It's about 1/8 of an inch and varies a little bit. On Knuckleheads, I've seen them both ways on original paint fenders. Sometimes it just comes right off the edge, and other times it follows in. I don't know if it's an early or late thing or just whatever the striper was into at that time, but that's the way it is on overhead valve ones. But if you look at RLs and VLs that have a much more graceful side valance, it's easy to follow the curve of the fender. And I actually have one of those fenders here. And here you can see it just follows the curve of it. And this is really cool because you can see how thick it got right here. You know, when he was changing directions. That's really cool. You can see the gold stripe. That stops right here where it kicks in. And then on this side, you can see the maroon stripe cuts in. The gold stripe kind of disintegrates right here, but you can see it kind of right in that area. It does not go all the way down. So yeah, there's some good info for striping your 1935 or 1936 Harley Davidson fenders.